Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.
Well, y'all, breaking news, man. Breaking news. They done picked up Chris Brown this morning. Really didn't pick him up. He flew on a private jet last night. He went back down there to turn. I guess he was going to turn himself in. I think this was a little bit pre-staged so that he could come down there and take care of business. He done got into, he been fighting this for a few years. After a few years, everything started to come back. You got to go back and pay the piper. You got to deal with the situation. OG, what's going on? You there?
Yeah, it says the under the influence singer was arrested early Thursday morning in Manchester, England, for allegedly hitting music producer A.B. Dwyer with a tequila bottle at a London nightclub in 2023. The Metropolitan Police told the Sun that Brown, 36, was detained at the 5-star Lowry Hotel on suspicion of causing grievous bodily harm. This is bullshit. What he took his ass back to England for? He didn't know he had
No, I think he went to take care of that.
No, he didn't. He didn't go to the police. They arrested him at a hotel.
At a hotel. How would you think they? Well, I guess he just didn't know. I'm just trying to understand.
If you want to go take care of it, you go to the police station.
Yeah, well, maybe they met him. OG. That's all I was saying.
We went down there trying to do a freak off.
Oh no, OG, stop.
Did he have baby oil? Did he have baby oil?
No, he had no baby oil. He just went back down there probably. And I'm thinking these charges happened a few years back. So I'm thinking he was already aware of this and trying to figure out a way to take care of it is what I was thinking. But maybe I'm wrong.
No. It happened in 2023. He didn't forgot all about it and went over to London, and they didn't caught him at the 5-star Lowry Hotel and arrested him. He didn't turn himself in. Metropolitan Police got him for suspicion of causing grievous bodily harm. He got caught slipping, got ran down with his pants down.
OG, so when you look at Chris Brown, I mean, you go all the way back, his track record, he's back in a situation where he's trying to figure out a way now to get out of chains because, with all his background, the Rihanna incident and all the stuff that he's had to go through, he's had time where he busts windows out on on TV. He fighting and he's a stomp down dude. He's a part of the Pyru situation is what a lot of people claim. Say he's a gang member. I remember you had made a statement for him to check in a long time ago, and y'all evidently got that. Well, I can bring that up and clip it in here if I need to.
You could bring. I brought his name in reference to being in LA. I never said Chris had to check in.
I'll bring it in right here, what you said exactly, so we can be sure. Okay?
Bring it up.
But then they ain't giving back.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? To get somebody some guns and shit, you ain't helping your neighborhood.
Yeah.
All these dudes is claiming Pyru, Chris Brown, all of these other dudes that using the label and not one studio for people to go do rap at, but you'll spend $25,000 in a strip club. I mean, we getting used, not used, misused.
Wow.
How you can't use a crack name and they don't get paid for it, huh? So how you use Pyru? How do you use Compton and you ain't been there? Nigga, check in.
Because I remember he addressed it on the Drink Champs and he said, he not checking in and he not doing none of that.
Because I never said he had to check in. We were talking about checking in and people.
Well, I remember this vaguely, and I remember what you said. You said that nobody wasn't buying nothing in no Compton, and there wasn't no business being opened up. They using the name of these gangs or whatever, and that's what you was alluding to. And then you said you got people, and Chris Brown name came up in that. Now I'm not gonna sit here and act like it didn't happen. It did, but
I never said that Chris Brown had to check in anything.
Well, I'll bring it in right now and show you exactly what you said.
Bring it right in.
I will do it. I do got it. I don't lose nothing, OG.
Yeah. All these dudes is claiming Pyru, Chris Brown, all of these other dudes that using the label and not one studio for people to go do rap at, but you'll spend $25,000 in a strip club. I mean, we getting used, not used, misused.
Wow.
How you can't use a cracker's name and they don't get paid for it, huh? So how you use Pyru? How do you use Compton and you ain't been there? Nigga, check in.
So at any rate, getting back to Chris Brown, he's
Chris is a stand-up young brother.
well.
And it's just sad how they're targeting our entertainers all over the world.
OG, I think you and Chris Brown partners now something, and you trying to clean this up. But Chris Brown is in London for throwing bottles. So no matter how you look at it, I'm not no hater or nothing. But if he was if he was into a situation where he got into something, then he have to account for it. And at the end of the day, if he went back over there, then evidently he was willing to deal with it. He's going to have his work cut out for him being in another country and being arrested.
Well, they speak English over there. He ain't got to be arrested because he got a couple of pounds. He can deal with that. And he didn't throw no bottle. He cracked that crack over in the head with a bottle.
Well, if that's the case, then that really is aggressive, and he shouldn't be in no another country fighting like that. I'm going to tell you that right now.
He should be.
Unless he getting paid for it.
You cannot think that you can bully me or misrepresent me and it's not going to be any retaliation.
OG, he in Manchester right now reaping the benefits of acting a fool. You don't go over these other people's backyard and act a fool. You go over there, do your business, and come back home.
Breaking news, he just bailed out. He on his way back.
Ain't nobody said that. That is the fake news is what you just threw in there. He'll get out. He'll get out. He'll get out. But now he's got.
As we speak, he on the ground.
He got to spend some money, and he got to go through the process.
He got it.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I can say, OG, is he's gonna definitely be one of the guys that gonna go down in history for having all these different dings on this situation, from him going through all these different court cases and all the stuff that he's dealing with. And it's unfortunate to have that much of opportunity and then turn around and keep banging your head up against the wall.
He ain't banging his head. He getting some growing pains. He ain't never put on a dress. He ain't never dealt with another boy. It's hard to be a black man in the industry in America, bro.
It's a lot harder for others who haven't achieved the goals that he's achieved. He had a great opportunity. And to be honest with you, OG, I really think that, as a man that has gotten on this pinnacle and everybody loving him and they comparing him to Michael Jackson and everybody else, again, the famous words that you always hear me quote, we got to do better, because ain't no way in hell you supposed to have the income that he have and the status that he have and keep having to fight charges and deal with that stuff when you leaving your luxurious homes, flying out on your private jets, going over to these other countries and having to turn yourself in Manchester. It just don't make no sense. Being arrested. Whatever way you want to dress it up, OG. Whatever way you want to dress it up. He basically, if he didn't turn himself in, or if he just went over there and got himself arrested, which is a bonehead move, I'm just saying that he got too much opportunity and stuff. He should be checking this kind of stuff all the time. I know for a fact if he had something going on over there, he should have been unchecked and known. If I hit somebody in the head with a bottle in another country and I'm going to go back to that country, I'm definitely going to try to figure out if I got anything going on when I go back.
He thought they had dropped the charge. They told him in 2023 they never prosecuted. So now they got a target on all blacks wherever we go. So they just came up with this 2 years later.
I wouldn't. No. He got himself in a lot of situations. He got some stuff going on legally. He got some stuff going on here in Dallas. He got stuff going on, man. He came here. Him and Yella Beezy had a situation here in Dallas where they both.
Yella Beezy, ain't Yella Beezy on?
Yeah, but before that, he's on house arrest now. But let me speak, OG. Let me speak. No, I'm telling you that Yella Beezy and Chris Brown had another legality here in Dallas. Where he got. What?
Bring it up. If you ain't got no.
Yeah, well, I'll bring it up. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Let me find it. I just put in Yellow Beezy.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Brown, don't
Hold
even-
on. Yeah, Yellow Beezy and Chris Brown are actually friends. See, you don't be knowing. That's why I have to educate you. Let me go and pull it up. Chris Brown. Hold on. Let me pull it. You got into an issue here. In Dallas. I talked about it a long time ago. Here it is.
Bring it up.
Here it is right here. Here it is right here. It reported on Yahoo. Chris Brown and Yellow Beezy hit with a $50 million lawsuit for allegedly backstage assault on 11/11 tour. Chris Brown and Yellow Beezy have been hit with a $50 million lawsuit following the alleged backstage assault on Brown in 11/11 tour on Monday, July the 22nd. TMZ Hip Hop broke the news of the lawsuit filed with the plaintiff Charles Buff, Larry Parker, Joseph Lewis, and DeMarcus Powell, who have accused Brown and Beezy of several members of an entourage with viciously attacking them backstage at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. So there, you wanted some evidence. There it is.
You mean that the case was dropped? Nobody got.
Well, no. The case have not been dropped. They still dealing with that, and they filed a countersuit. I spoke with Yellow Beezy about it on my show when I interviewed him. So these are things that are going on. We'll put that up as well. But these things have been, these guys are in high profile positions. Therefore, they do have situations that keep coming up, and they are targets, and therefore they have to be more careful, because to whom much is given, OG, much is required. So you can't get yourself in these situations and think that woe is me. No, you done it. And if you're a high profile person, it's going to be picked at on a high profile level, OG. Okay. I'm glad I got all that out.
Yeah, go ahead. Amen. You're gonna have to do better though.
I think, like I said, I think it'll be a tough uphill battle when it comes down to just steadily fighting these type of cases as they keep coming at these guys. They got to be more smarter when they out here, because they are targets with bullseyes on their backs. So I don't know why they not understanding that.
These young black artists, they don't have any role models. All these sucker old black men, T.D. Jakes and all of these other hypocrites, they don't have role. They don't have the John Waynes and the Rock Hudsons and the Jimmy Durantes that can coach them. So these brothers are moving ad hocly. They going trial and error, man. It's tough trying to guide your way through life with money. In dope, I was the first generation of my family to have a gang of money. And they say, a fool and money soon part. And exactly that happened, because shoot, I'm feeding the white America and things and all of their goals, and I'm not having no identity on mine. So I understand these young brothers with money and false illusions of people telling you can do what you want to do.
Well, OG,
not in America.
no, you can't in America. And they got to do better if they're gonna be the ones carrying the torch for the young brothers that's watching, to see them running around with all this money, all this loot, all this power, all these people running up to them at the concert, falling out when they kiss their hand and all that. And then these other kids look at it as an illusion. These rappers, they run around with these big necklaces on, chains big as the chains we used to have put on our necks by the other race. Man, we got to do better, man. And we got, if you given a position, man, make it count. That's all I've been saying, man. But you're right, OG. I agree with you 100%. But guys, get in the comments and let us know what you think about Chris Brown being arrested in Manchester. And do you feel like Chris Brown is targeted, or do you feel like he's really out here living his best life, doing things that he's being accused of? OG Pyru says that he didn't say the statement about Chris Brown checking in. We're about to play that as well. Do you think that he was right as well? Put it in the comments. Let us know. Boss Talk 101 reviews.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.